right, Matt, we're doing something a little different today.
Oh, change.
Yes,
Jeff.
yes.
I don't like change.
I know. I don't like it either. About a month ago, I decided that when there wasn't anything out this week, which there really isn't, we're going to play old games. And we're going to start with, this should be really interesting because Final Fantasy Tactics Advance is one of my favorite games. You see what's at the bottom of the screen, Matt?
2003.
This game is 17 years old. This game has its learner's permit, and next year it'll be able to vote. So
legal.
But yeah, this
Put
is
stuff in it.
This is a Game Boy Advance game from a billion million quadrillion years ago, and it was like they were going to put Final Fantasy Tactics on a portable, and like after a few years, they managed to put Final Fantasy Tactics War of the Lions on the PSP.
Okay.
But they couldn't fit it on a Game Boy cartridge.
Oh.
So they made a new Game Boy game. And Matt, I got to tell you, there's like a million things going on in this game, and I'm super excited to talk about all of them.
Okay.
And part of it is like, I want to use this. I know, but I want to use this as a way to explain why I'm not super psyched about what's going on right now in Final Fantasy.
Oh, okay.
So
you're stuck in the weak team. You're gonna lose. Where to find that?
yeah, it's
gonna be his name.
He sucks.
Hey, Mute. Where's the bear today? Don't talk about my bear. Oh, look at him.
Mute looks like he's about to create like the T virus when he grows up or something.
Oh no, not good.
Yeah.
He wants precious bear to get wet and he's new.
These little Aryan pieces of shit.
Why your mommy give you that bear?
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
who
Matt's-
else would, you
Matt's-
piece of shit?
What's your problem, new kid?
I like the fact that Matt's doing all the voices.
I
y'all.
am.
Leave him wait, leave him alone. He's not going to say anything anyway.
Okay.
He's like a little girl.
Hey,
He needs to like
Fuck
cough some of that phlegm out of
Cock,
his throat.
like,
hey, that's oh my god.
2003, folks.
Hey, that's gender discrimination. I don't know some little girls who can kick your butt.
Oh boy.
She's got a really deep voice.
Yeah, it's Ritz.
wait. Like, well, Ritz, what's your problem?
I just
You don't want to be on that team, right? I'm always okay.
Yep.
Tearing at my throat.
Yep, that's what happens.
There, you should speak up, tell your name.
Okay,
is this
so-
school? What is this?
Yeah. The name of this town. So we're gonna stick with March.
March.
He's the main character.
All right.
March, Mute, and Ritz. Basically, they're in the town of Saint Ivalis.
Okay.
Is the name of the town. Now, I don't know if you know what Ivalis is.
The tactics games all take place in the same universe, right? Or some of them do.
So Ivalis is the world that Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy 12, and then like I think some of the other ones take place in. But
Oh shit.
yeah, so this is like a tutorial. They're going to teach you how to do it with a snowball fight.
Oh, this is really cute.
Got used to snow at St. Valley. Yes, you Marsh. It's much warmer where you're from, isn't it? Florida. That's where
yes.
Final Fantasy 8 takes place.
Yes, Florida.
It never snowed. This is practically my first snowball fight. I'm a robot.
Practically.
Let me give you some pointers.
All right.
So, Rich is going to show us how to do stuff. Now, this is like really a lot more basic than Final Fantasy Tactics was.
Okay.
It's also a lot less difficult. Like Final Fantasy Tactics has this whole thing where, like, if you get to a certain point in the game and you haven't kind of been working for it, you kind of get fucked. Like, but right now, these kids are just like in an analog for just like a small town in our world, in the world.
Weird. Okay.
Yeah. So, and we're having a snowball fight. And they're basically using this as a tutorial. Now, one of the things that I wanted to talk about is the fact that, like, some Final Fantasies, Matt, are really creative.
Okay.
Are like super, super creative, right?
Okay.
Like Final Fantasy 13 is not super creative. It's very confusing.
But
like,
deuce, you say.
But like 13-2, you know, Lightning's sister and a boy from the end of time have to team up to try to reconfigure the timeline as this poison-ass motherfucker from also the end of time has come back in time to fuck up time and also to try to kill Lightning in Valhalla. And like that's some fucking anime ass bullshit
that is some
right there.
High level storytelling. That's a high concept storytelling.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, I have not played that many Final Fantasies, but yeah, like it just, that was one of the things that appealed to me when I was younger, was how I had never seen anything like a lot of the stuff they do in these games.
I mean, like people, some people like 10, some people dislike 10, but like 10 is a story of like a football player with an absentee dad who gets thrown forward/backwards in time and has to acclimatize to this world where that gets destroyed every so often, and like there's these priestesses who go out and like commit suicide in order to kill
Godzilla,
to kind of kill a big god, and like that's fucking weird. And like the thing is that I was thinking about this concept before we recorded, Matt, and Final Fantasy 15. Well, the problem with Final Fantasy 15 is that they never tell you the story. The story's half in fucking
the movies, the
Kingsglaive, and the anime. And it's like, well, what is this actually about? It doesn't have as much of as an easy going, like Final Fantasy 13 or Lightning Returns. Final Fantasy 13-3 is God is going to end the world in 7 days. Everyone's been alive for thousands of years, and Lightning has to go try to like make everybody's dreams a reality before God finishes out the world.
Jesus.
And she discovers a very strange, there's like a lot of weird shit going on with this whole God ending the world thing. And like, okay, I can get behind that.
I mean, that was the thing, is like I remembered like seeing 15 and seeing some of the cutscenes and stuff and being like, I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah.
And
so the thing is that I even think that 7 in some ways is a little obtuse, right? Because it's about, it starts out as this like, you know, the Mako reactor and Shinra and corporate
terrorism,
greed, right? And then it becomes about the war with Wutai, and then it becomes, you know, Sephiroth is a clone of an alien who wants to destroy the world because he's shitty.
Yeah.
Like that's his thing. He's shitty. He's going to destroy the world. Or I don't know, maybe you played Crisis Core like I did and you know the real reason. But
yeah, I don't know, man. Once I got Maneater, Final Fantasy went on the fucking shelf, man.
Yeah.
I'll probably, like I said, I'll come back around to it. But yeah, like aw.
So they're all beaten up on mute.
Aw, mute.
Mute.
We're not breaking any rules. Yeah. Kick him in the rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I like it when, and again, that was the thing that drew me to Final Fantasy back when, because even in the old days, that's the thing about Final Fantasy 7, back when it first came out. Hey!
Oh, man.
Back when 7 first came out,
shit.
There was a rock in that. Oh, is that shit where they put a rock in it?
There was a rock in that snowball.
It's unbelievable.
Matt knows how to cheat at a snowball fight,
yes,
ladies
obviously.
and gentlemen. We don't have any snow here.
Yeah, we don't.
When there's enough snow, you put together like one slush ball,
dirt clod,
and then just like half of it's dirt. Then just pegged Matt's ass with it. Bam.
Yeah. Then that's when I go get the barbed wire.
Yeah.
And they call that the stinger. Yeah, they don't let you do that anymore. Anyway.
They're saying that Ritz dyes her hair because it's white, and they're all calling her grandmas because they're shitty children.
Yeah.
And children suck.
Little prissy grandma. Kick him in the... Fucking kick the shit out of him.
That's what she's doing.
She's going to fucking pull a knife on... Oh, she's going to...
Here come the adults.
Children.
Behave.
All right, so... but anyway, yeah, but like Final Fantasy 7, like when I feel like back in the when that game first came out, it starts off fairly grounded with this kind of dystopian kind of cyberpunk
like
thing.
big corporate. You know, Wayland Yutani is doing
yeah.
fucked up shit.
Yeah, and there's some light fantasy elements, but for the most part, it's this kind of Blade Runner-y.
Yeah.
And then it opens up and it becomes this whole world thing, and you start to figure out like how everything works in this world. And so as a result, it sort of eased you into this broader, weirder story.
Yeah.
I can't put my finger on why the remake doesn't gel for some reason with me. Like I don't.
I mean, look, I don't want to go back into it because I mostly just wanted to use it as a point of comparison about like which Final Fantasy, because I feel like Final Fantasy as a franchise has been getting more and more weird and ungrounded and long. And I don't understand.
Like weirder rather than just high concept.
Well, let me put it this way. Like, I had somebody explain to me what is going on in Kingdom Hearts 3, and I was like, the Disney game? the game with Pluto? And what?
Well, yeah, because the Disney stuff has no bearing on what happens.
Yeah, and it's so obtuse. And then I go to Final Fantasy VII, and I think Final Fantasy VII's story is very streamlined, but when the remake, it feels very stretched out. That we're very stretched out in not in good ways. I feel like the first part is very much all about Shinra, and I was kind of yawning my way through it, and then Aerith showed up, and I was just like, oh, okay, it's a fucking love story, right? I can get on board with this. Whereas the Avalanche clowns going after Shinra, it's like, well, okay, but they're mining the Earth's the life energy of the planet. With the I'm like, oh, but this is the I don't really get it.
Yeah.
So a lot of it is I haven't I remember when all this is to say one thing, and it's basically to say that I love Final Fantasy, and the reason that I love Final Fantasy is because so many of the stories of previous Final Fantasies were instantaneously accessible, and you connect to them. And you really could kind of get what's going on, and then they had a kind of a nice deepness to them. And then I feel like at a certain point things kind of started veering in this direction that I wasn't entirely that there was that when they went on a limb when they did Final Fantasy VII, and then that became the template. To me, it's a lot like the way that Ocarina of Time suddenly made Zelda into something I was a fan of the first 3 Zeldas before it was on the N64. Those are some of my favorite games. And then suddenly it was this very verbose, very 3D, very open world, but the combat,
yeah. There was the sea change, and the game makers then took the things that the fans thought they wanted and kept asking for, and they just started adding more of that in.
Right.
Or they felt like they couldn't deviate from that.
By the way, this is pretty interesting.
You're cringing. Embarrassing.
That guy, he was just getting chewed out by some thugs or something.
Yeah.
I
like his hair. Mute.
He's Mute's dad.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, it's unfortunate.
Yeah. But see, I actually love this little scene because look, there's a cafe and a car and a streetlight and trash cans and Final Fantasy. I'm the first to admit that in Final Fantasy 13, when everything became the weird cyber future and they lived in Cocoon, that it was very difficult to relate to because people were pulling swords out of midair and they were all turning into lesbian motorcycles and shit. And
I'm all right with that.
It was what is going on here? We're at this point in this game, these kids are they go to a school. There's bullies. This guy's dad is kind of a putz.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've been paying attention, but Marsh
has
a little brother who has a congenital illness,
and he's getting him a book.
Well, he has to keep going to the hospital and he can't go outside. And Mute lost his mom.
Oh, geez.
And
poor kid.
So Mute is a nerd. He's going to go get a book. March and Ritz invited him over to March's house to share the book with his little brother who can't go outside. All this is very easy to relate to, right? You go to the beginning of Final Fantasy Tactics and It's all this like fucking empires and shit. Like
It's a Star Wars.
sort of. Yeah.
Wait, what does Rick say? A stupid fucking goddamn Star Wars.
March is a Disney princess. He doesn't have a dad,
Of course.
So,
Of course.
I
mean, I feel like that core relatability is really important in a high concept, fucked up, weird fantasy story.
Yeah.
Which is why I thought it was so weird that Eris doesn't show up until so late in the story of Final Fantasy VII.
Yes.
It felt like if
Well, it would have been a lot shorter if the game had been stretched from the first 6 hours to 30 hours or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, also, Matt, do you see it? Do you see it?
Oh, is it the rabbit ears?
Here's a TV that looks like an apple.
Oh my god! I just forgotten about that shit. God damn it!
Yeah, you're always bad at sports.
Your guests are here.
Tell them to come on up. I've got a girly haircut.
Man, they really like their androgynous main characters, don't they?
Also, this game always reminds me of like before we had just like the cutscenes to end all cutscenes, how much emotion got squeezed out of just little sprite characters on the screen.
Yes, that is something that I was just thinking about because I fucking keep coming back to 7. But, well, you remember how much emotion you... Okay. You remember how you're playing some of these older and arguably more primitive games like the first Final Fantasy VII or Final Fantasy VI for crying out loud or whatever, and you draw so much emotion and pathos and you project a lot of your emotion and pathos onto these little sprites. And now with the new stuff, it's like this... It's all there, and it kind of loses some of its charm because there's always going to be these weird things, these weirder aspects to the games that kind of require a suspension of disbelief, and it makes it suddenly so much harder when you're looking at fully rendered 3D billion-dollar characters.
Yeah.
As opposed to these little sprites who are just kind of talking to each other and oh Jesus God, okay.
I'm sorry, I was going to hypnotize you today. Were you not ready for that?
Damn it, I knew it was coming. I knew it was just gonna... I always knew this day would come.
This is the title sequence, technically, I believe.
Okay.
Like, because they're looking at the book.
Yeah. Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
I'm getting some The Legend of Dragoon vibes off of this. That's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Also, this game is really interesting because it was one of the first games... Like, I played this game on my GameCube because they sold a thing that connected to the bottom of the GameCube that you could put a Game Boy Advance cartridge into and then play it on the TV.
I remember that, yeah.
Yeah. And technically, this was kind of like my early Nintendo Switch because I could play Final Fantasy Tactics on my TV, and then I could save my game, turn it off, put it into my Game Boy Advance SP, clamshell blue, motherfucker, and then, like, take it with me and play it outside in the world. So
the world.
Yeah.
Ugh, there's bears out there.
Yeah, somebody was like, I went outside. I was like, oh, why? Oh
no.
Oof, oof.
Oh, no. Alta oran sondas camille klatu vararan.
Oh, no, this is the Necronomicon.
Oh, no.
Sure sounds like magic. Wow, magic book. I can use magic. Whoa, kid, I knew you'd like it.
Donid?
Yeah, that's his name.
Dund?
Maybe if you use magic, you'd be better at sports, fuck face. I'm in a wheelchair.
Oh, Mary Poppins, can you make my legs work? That is... Oh, God. Everybody needs to go to YouTube and look for Henry Zabrowski's Mary Poppins rewrite. Because he had never seen he's a comedian. He's never seen Mary Poppins, so he wrote his own version of it based on cultural osmosis. And he's just like, Mary Poppins is like killing opium addicts in alleyways and stuff. It's
jeez.
fucking weird.
What do you... Oh, this is... So, check this out.
You know, fighting monsters and all that. Oh. Final Fantasy. Oh my God! Fuck you!
So, like, this is a world where the game Final Fantasy exists. Like, I just kind of love it. Like, I kind of love how meta it is. I also kind of just love the fact that it's like, you know, in this whole scene, it's like it's snowing outside. And you've just got like a bunch of friends, and I think they're supposed to be like early teenagers, like 12 or 13 or something.
It's hard to tell in Japanese art style sometimes.
Yeah, but that they're just like, you know, they're kind of like tweens, right? Just like, hey, when you had your friends over and like you were right on the cusp of when you were about to start fucking up all the friendships you had with girls when you were younger, because you're going to ask them all out because your wiener started doing all the talking for you.
yeah.
Hey, your voice cracks and you get the weird.
It's not good.
Oh, that mustache comes in. I gotta use it.
Jeez, Rick. Yeah, well, oh man, I've been watching Big Mouth on Netflix.
Yeah,
and it's all about that shit.
I've heard nothing but bad stuff about that shit.
I thought it was really good. I'm really enjoying it. I mean, it's definitely fucked up, but it's that whole thing where you're just like, oh no, it's got hair on it now.
Oh yeah.
Do I like men? It's all that shit.
Yeah.
I like it.
I have not watched it. I haven't watched it.
You know, it is a little bit of an acquired taste, but I would figure if you like stuff like Rick and Morty, you'd probably like this too.
Love the aesthetic on these little.
It's really cute.
All these little like, all the lighting that's done in the. This is where my I used to draw for a living sort of thing comes out. Especially when I did all that pixel stuff for Loading Bar.
Yeah.
Where I really learned how to make pixels work and all this shading and gradients and stuff.
Uh-oh. Our town in the void. Uh-oh. Whoa.
Oh, shit.
That ain't good. Uh-oh. Whoa.
Oh. Eyeball monsters.
Oh, no. That's not what you want.
Yeah. These people are like, I'm going to go get a beer. I think it's oh, God.
Oh, no.
What happened? Where am I? Oh, shit. I'm a donkey now. Fuck.
I'm a rabbit, I guess.
Goddamn.
I like the idea of them just screaming and Uh-oh.
Did you? It's so like Labyrinth, right?
Yeah,
or like
it has a bit of a
the
Labyrinth
Never-Ending
vibe.
Story or something like that, where it's like, I wish that fantasy world was real, and then be careful what you wish for, young man. Brr. Maybe you'll fall down in the middle of a street and then have to do battle with a lizard.
As you do.
As you do.
Isn't that the plot of Mazes and Monsters starring Tom Hanks?
No, he just is stupid. No, Tom Hanks is stupid.
That the plot of that movie is he's stupid and this is boring.
He's stupid. No actual human being has ever been like, I think Dungeons and Dragons is real now. I'm so into Dungeons and Dragons that I think it's real.
Son.
Oh boy.
So they're reptile people. Oh yeah. What did you say?
They're Banga.
We
The Banga are the lizards. The Viera are the bunnies.
Yeah.
And then I forget what the little weird, sad Eeyore looking motherfuckers are.
Yeah.
Said it's gonna bang a lizard.
Oh God.
Shit.
Kapow!
And there's Moggs.
Oh no!
Here's a
Oh
Mog.
my goodness.
Mont
Okay.
Blanc is like your right hand dude. So
Oh my God. That does not look anything like the sprite.
I like the fact that they look all weird. That they're not bubbly, right? That they're it looks like a thing that walks around. That's not just like a bouncy sprite. So
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. Sorry. I didn't mean it. It's not used to seeing Banga.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, wait a minute.
He's got a weird that little sprite illustration of him. It looks like he's wearing a dumb baseball cap.
Oh.
Like one of those band caps you wear at the beach.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. That Karen would wear when picking her kids up from soccer.
Oh, shit. Uh-oh. So the other thing that you may or may not know about Evalis is Evalis is run by the judges.
Oh, the judges are
And one of the things that really
terrifying.
sets this apart from some of the other Final Fantasy games is that like the judges here show up in every fight, and then every fight has a rule.
Okay.
Where there's like you can't use X, but you can use X. And the thing is that if you break those rules, the judges will literally take take the people in your party to jail, and you have to bail them out of jail.
Shit.
And sometimes the rule is like no magic or no swords or no physical weapons or shit like that. So
he's really taken a lot of this in stride.
yeah. Well, he's beating up on a lizard man.
As you do.
Check the current laws. So, yep.
This is. I like this. It's simple. It's weird, but weird in that.
And we've got a great POV character who talks.
Mm-hmm.
He's got dumb yellow hair, but he asks questions, and he's a fish out of water.
He's got his little brother and Goopo.
Use your sword and your abilities. I'll back you up.
All right.
And the other thing is that it's a very simplified tactics game because the thing is that, so you can see that if I attack him from the side, that's a flanking bonus. So I've got 70% to hit with 22 damage.
Nice. Okay.
But if I hit him from the back, then I get 85% 22 damage.
Wow, okay.
So there's a lot of placement matters a lot, and then after you get done with your turn, there's a very much what direction are you going to face your character, because getting hit in the back sucks. So you want to try to deny them, but you can even do things like when you kill an enemy, their body drops and will sometimes stay for several turns. And that's an obstacle that you can literally put your back to, where enemies can't walk up behind you.
Interesting.
So there's a lot of placement and stuff. The thing that I really like about this game is that, unlike Final Fantasy Tactics, it is a little grindy, but I like the tactics so much that I don't mind the grinding because you basically, Mont Blanc is the head of a mercenary organization. Like you do in any half of the Japanese things.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck it is with mercs in Japan.
They love
but
their mercs.
They fucking love them.
Well, it's not socially acceptable, but it's a way where your character can operate outside of the law.
Yeah.
And because that's not.
But see in this situation, the judge is literally blocking the back of him.
Interesting. Okay.
And then each job has a battle tech, and then later what happens is when you master a job, in a lot of the Final Fantasy Tactics games, you can keep you can use the battle tech on a different class. So you're creating cross classes, or if you keep leveling up with a fighter, that eventually certain characters will get access to a dragoon or a battle mage or something. But then also every race has access to different classes. So Banga can be things that humans can't.
Right.
And humans can be things that moguls can't, and et cetera, on down the line.
Interesting. Okay.
So the thing is that you end up with a lot of kind of Pokemon, you'll get new characters into the Merc squad, and then you need to so you want to build each merc into a different type of character, so that a lot of times when you get when you get a judge that says no magic, you're well, that's no problem. Half my guys know how to fight without magic anyway, and the other half know how to fight so much with magic that it's stupid how much they can fight with magic.
It's fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, and then there's a lot of just and the other thing is that, I don't know if you're keeping track, Matt, but we're around 29 minutes here.
Okay.
So I didn't check the rules, but the rules today say no items.
Oh. Of law forbidding items. Oh no.
So he's gonna go over and fucking throw down a soccer card. Red card on you.
Oh shit. Okay.
And you're in prison. Bye.
Wow. Harsh, bud.
Yep.
The slammer.
Is that we are about 5 minutes away from just being in the game.
Oh, Well, what a fucking fresh surprise.
with a full party of 2 warriors, a monk, a white mage, a black mage, and an archer, and then just the ability to start doing contracts and like fighting dudes and doing stuff. So,
Okay.
you know, like, I mean, this is one of my bugbears, right? Is that I'm not a big fan of the million-year tutorial, but this game, like, the first thing that's going to happen is we're going to go to a bar, and then there's going to be the bartender's like, do you want to see the local rumors? And half those rumors are the tutorial on how to play the game.
Oh, that's fun.
So you could just jump right in.
I like that your Kupo, not your Kupo, your what's his name, Mont Blanc?
Well, you get to choose it, but I always just leave the default. But yeah, Mont Blanc.
Mont Blanc.
Mont Blanc.
Mont Blanc. It's interesting because I just as a little side note, I like that he said, okay, but I know he attacked you, but don't ever call them lizards.
Right.
It's like, well, thank you for acknowledging that it's a racial slur. But yeah, it's. I mean, you and I have played JRPGs that I'm starting to really agree with you that there's not a whole lot of reason to sit there and drag this shit out.
Well, to be honest, I mean, I'll tell everybody that's watching, I bought Xenoblade Chronicles Final Edition or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I played it, and I was just like, I think I'd rather play this game that I'm super into as opposed to this JRPG that, like, it's fine, but you play it and you play it. And were you and I the ones that played Dragon Quest when Dragon Quest 9 came out? And it was just like,
Was it Dragon Quest 9? We played a Dragon Quest. We were having to climb the mountain.
yeah.
I remember that. I didn't think it was that.
It's another. So that's the funny thing is he still remembers Final Fantasy.
Of course. It's like a pretend world with heroes and monsters.
So Moogle is asking him like, "Well, don't you know like any of this stuff?" And he's like, "Well, I've played it in video games." And Moogle's like, "Well, but this isn't a video game."
Oh, wow.
So it's like super meta as well.
That's cute. I remember the first time I ever saw a piece of media that got meta about shit was an Ultraman movie I saw back in like junior high. It was about making wishes, and they wished for Ultraman to be real. But then, of course, a bad kid got a hold of it, so he started wishing monsters into the real world, and it's like, oh,
man.
now everything's fucked.
Oh, now Ultraman has something to fight.
Buy our toys. Yeah, this is Mont Blanc.
Mont Blanc. I guess you don't get to name him.
No, I guess not. No, this is immediately charming. This is immediately very charming. It's you're right in there. You're fucking in there.
You are indeed.
And I feel like I don't know. I'm just thinking about this one thing we played. I don't want to go too far into it, but I just remembered you and I are both like, when is the game start? Because it wasn't even story. It was just explaining different mini things to you.
It was the idea that you had to introduce every single character in excessive verbose detail before you could ever do anything fun. Like, and I know that some people are going to be like, well, I think the story in a JRPG is fun. And I do too. But when I play a video game, there's like, you know, I like to play it and then have some game and then play some game and then have some story and then play some game and then have some story. Like most other games, play a little game, have a little story, little game, little cutscene, and then you're going to play some more game and you can do cutscenes. But so many of these JRPGs that we've been playing these days, it's just like, okay, I guess I'm just going to put the controller down for part one because a lot of times we don't even get to the tutorial until part two of our hour-long videos playing JRPGs. So, like, I don't know, man.
Sure.
Oh, wait, I wonder if it's the same every time. So you get to name, I don't know why this guy that he met today gets to name the clan that they haven't put their name together yet, but it's always Nutsy by defaut.
Weird.
You want to stick with Nutsy?
Sure.
Clan Nutsy.
Clan Nutsy.
Don't fuck with Clan Nutsy, y'all.
What?
How about Nutsy?
He's
Because
like-
you guys are crazy.
He's like, you're gonna go with that, huh?
It's like, that's great. Clan Nutsy.
Oh my God.
Okay, let's get you saddled in. This is where we are right now in Avalis. The other thing that's very, 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 very bizarre about this is that this is the map. Now, here's the thing.
Uh-huh.
Like, there's only one thing on the map right now.
Okay.
And we get to pick where this town goes.
Okay.
Like, none of these are things.
Oh,
and
that's
we literally
weird.
build the world with like as we go on. Like, we'll get a mission that goes to a certain location, and then we'll have to place that location before we can go there.
That's fucking weird.
Now, there's a story reason for that.
Oh.
But I don't know if I want to tell people what it is. But then this game is 17 years.
Part of the book.
It's 17 years old. So.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that's where we're gonna We're gonna stop. 36
that's,
minutes.
That's a good place to stop.
Yeah, we're gonna come back tomorrow and play more of it. So thanks everybody for watching. Hit the like, subscribe button. Let us know what you think down in the comments. Patreon.com/RageSlight. You know what? Really let me know if you like us going back and looking at older stuff, because I was much more a fan of let's do older stuff instead of trying to force Matt and I to play Sakura Wars. It's so boring. So,
Man, I was trying to dance around it.
I'm going to pay $60 for Sakura Wars, and it's going to be just like the worst $60 I ever spent. God. Doop.
You were so mad about that.
And we wasted fucking a whole hour and got nothing. Nothing.
It's rough. It's rough, guys.
So patreon.com/rage select. By the way, I'm sorry that this has to be a little longer. Patreon just started a new thing where they're adding taxes now to some stuff.
Yeah.
This is, I think, because I remember reading a news story 3 years ago about this. Like, a lot of states in the United States want to, they wanted to start locally taxing online goods and services, not just goods, but also things like Netflix. So this is an example. I don't know this for sure. So North Carolina was we're tired of Netflix not having to pay local taxes when all of our local people are, if you buy a Coke, you still pay sales tax.
Right.
But why is it that if you buy Netflix, you don't have to? Okay, except that no one's ever a fan of putting in a tax when there was no tax previously.
Yeah,
so,
that's going to be an uphill battle regardless.
But they did it. It's starting. I'm sorry, I can't eat the tax liability. If I could flip a switch saying, all me, take the money out of what I would get for the taxes from the people, but that's illegal apparently. And then it's also very hazy as to what even is taxed.
Yeah, I'm not really clear. I tried to, because I saw that myself.
Yeah.
Because my patrons all got charged, patreon.com/MattFrankArt, and I was like, wait a minute, so what's the tax?
Right.
I don't understand. And so, yeah, I don't know. But
so in any case, just, you know what? If I can answer any questions, let me know. But a lot of this is I don't understand what the hell is going on. So do we just have the picking? Yeah, or picking. Okay, we'll do that next time.
All right, then.
In any case, so just, and for a lot of people, if you need to lower your Patreon to cover those taxes, dude, I get it. If you need to cancel your Patreon because it's just too much of a hassle, I'm sorry to see you go, but dude, I get it too. So let me know. Also, you can, if you don't want to go to Patreon, you can use some Amazon links that are down below. I'll probably just put a Game Boy or a Raspberry Pi or something like that, and you guys can do whatever you want to.
Yeah.
So. Yeah.
Oh, I
Matt,
was
where
going
can
to say,
people check you out?
patreon.com/MattFrankArt, MattFrankArt.net. This weekend is VirtuaCon, because I assume these are going up this week.
Yes.
And this weekend is VirtuaCon. I'm going to be doing I got a bunch of commissions I'm going to be doing live streams for. I'm also going to be running a charity as well over the weekend. So you can help out some good causes. I'll have all the details posted up on Twitter and stuff. But yeah.
Good job, Matt.
Hey.
Yeah. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye.